Yesterday we were talking to South Africa's top kite surfers, and we were talking about the fact that there was no wind. Today it's kind of changed a little bit. Now Rob Crystal's loaned me his kite. I was going to give it a break, but give it a try rather, but I think I'm rather going to give it a break. With me, Rob, obviously a little bit of wind last night, not enough for the contest. Are we likely to see night kite surfing tonight?
Look, we hope so. It's going to be a bit gusty, but I'm going to go out just now and give it a try, just see what it's like, and then we'll take it from there. If it's good enough to go, we'll be on.
Fantastic. That's something to look forward to right here on Durban's North Beach. I'm actually going to leave this with you, Rob, because it's a bit too hectic for me. Now, we went down to go and see what was happening, how these kite boards are actually made and how the sails are made, so take a look at this. It might not look like it, but these two athletes are involved in the world's fastest growing extreme sport, kite surfing, a sport definitely gaining in popularity.
In South Africa and in Durban in particular, in the last 2 years, kiting has come through as a major sport. In 2 years, it's gone from a sport where people were battling, trying to just stay upwind, and nowadays, on any particular day that there's a light breeze, you find people at the beach. So the moment kiters could stay upwind, the sport evolved and is now becoming popular. Kiteboarding is more accessible than windsurfing, I would say. We've all flown kites as youngsters, and we all think it's quite easy. You don't need a lot of wind like windsurfing for high action and for adrenaline, and I think anyone who's into a little bit of adrenaline sport would enjoy kiting. It gives you a big thrill, and the climate in Durban, the moderate winds, is more suited to kiting than windsurfing. From a sport point of view, it may sound like a long time, but it takes a guy about 3 months to get into kiting and be competent. That's the level where you can go upwind, do a few loops, do a few jumps, go in and out through the surf. But from a windsurfing perspective, it would probably take someone 1 to 2 years to get to a level where they can just sail in the sea. So 3 months is actually quite short.
Deep in the heart of Durban, one man plays a crucial role in assisting the kitesurfing craze. Gavin Spowett is one of the country's best board shapers and has been instrumental in changing the way people kitesurf.
On the kiteboards, obviously, they need a lot of strength, so we're using a PVC core that we get in sheets. Obviously, we cut them down and plane them down to size, turn the rails and put all the dimensions in for the fin boxes and the plugs, etc. Then it goes over to the laminating bay, where the curve is actually put onto the board. It's a twin tip, as we call it, so it's got to be exactly the same on both sides. We put on the tables there and we laminate it from there with epoxies, obviously for the strength as well and the flexibility of the board. From there, once it's been laminated, it goes into the sanding bay. They sand it down to the desired smoothness. Then we bring it over and we do a finish coat on it, take it back to the spray booth to be sprayed up with a 2K car spray, the same spray they use on a motor vehicle, so it gets that nice hard finish, and basically that's it. 18 months ago, which is not too far back, we were riding boards of this size, which is 7 feet, 7'2", 7'6" for that matter. They weighed about 8 kgs, very heavy boards. Then about 6 months or 8 months ago, we started getting onto a twin tip. You can see this board is a directional board. You only go in one direction, then you have to jibe like a windsurfer. These boards were designed so that you don't have to jibe. Your feet are staying in, you go one direction, and you just turn around and go the other direction. That was about 180 centimeters long. And then as you can see, the process of just getting smaller and smaller, using bigger kites and smaller boards. It's a lot easier. And eventually we're getting down to something about that size, which is 145 centimeters, weighs under 3 kg, 3 kgs, about 2.5 to 3 kgs in weight. As you can see, Maury biscuit thin, with 4 fins, nice and flex, gives you a lot of flex for your jumps. So that's basically it.